I'm out of long matches, so I have to use an incense stick to light my candle for you guys. Ooh. Oh, my little incense stick kind of went out here. Keep it going during the read. I was raised with incense, guys, so for me, I like it. It can be kind of strong though sometimes, so you got to watch what kind you get. Um, Alexa, volume one. But I've gotten my incense all sorts of places, but sometimes the ethnic grocery stores, like an Indian food store, has tons of kinds of incense, and they have different kinds than just the sticks. They also have the cones, which are kind of nice. Um, if you like that style versus a big long burner, okay. So I'm just gonna light some a little bit of Palo Santo here too. Cleanse these cards up, and then we'll get into the read. So please do, if you're in the chat, like the video. It helps pass the messages around, okay, to those who need them. And, as well as the good juju, right? Because we're here because we want some good news, right? We want some good news out of our situations. We're tired of the bad news. The bad ones can go bye-bye, right? Bye-bye. It's like that skit on SNL and David Spade as he's at the airplane. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. It doesn't matter what else they say. They're still like, bye-bye, right? Because the flight is over. I was kind of getting this earlier a little bit too. It's kind of like, you know what? Everybody has their shit, but when your shit starts unloading into my front lawn, we have a real problem, right? And the problem isn't mine, it's theirs, okay? But, you're going to hear about it from me, right? Because you're on my lawn, right? Okay, I think you're getting it. So, spiritually speaking, I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of you. It's like, people don't really understand that they're in your arena now. Kind of like people that come here to this channel and they want to hate on it and stuff. And it's like, you're in my space. You are free to go anywhere else, but you don't have control over this right now. I do. You know what I mean? So that could be a breakthrough for some of you guys, realizing that you have control over your situation. Okay. And when I say that, it's kind of like you have the mental control, you have the emotional control, you have the physical control. Like, you are just very much like somebody who cannot be triggered to do something stupid, right? Yes, we are in English today, so. I am a native English speaker, so my apologies to you looking for a reading in Espanol. If I tried to do in Espanol, it wouldn't come out very well, okay? So I'm surrendering to my mother tongue today, yes? Okay. So surrender. If for some reason you are somebody who likes to be in control, and it's like, well, if I'm in control, how come all this other stuff is happening? Okay. Well, there's having control over your space, and then there's being in control of the universe, which we all know that we're able to direct ourselves through the universe, but we're not in control of the universe. The universe is in control of the universe, right? This message is held for review again. So if you're going to be into the chat, please do be respectful, so that we can even have a chat for people, okay? Because, unfortunately, what happens in a lot of these things is that, other people ruin it for everyone else, and then they can't participate, So I like to keep the chat open. I do not answer personal direct questions in the chat, but if there is something that resonates with you during this reading, please do like the video or subscribe to the channel, okay? Because that's what we're doing here, all right? So, moving on. Gratitude. Yes, being grateful for the messages that we get. It might not be the message that you want. It might not be like, oh, I'm going to get a phone call from this company today and they're going to offer me a job. It may not be exactly that, but it may be like, look, I did really good on my interviews and I applied and I gave everybody the information. Thank you for letting me go through this process and seeing what happens, right? It's kind of like that, always putting your best foot forward. That's what the universe wants to see. Okay. And being grateful that you're able to do that, perhaps in the face of some people literally dumping dew on your front lawn, right? You're like, look, I know a way around this. I'm going to get to the good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff being the power source, the good stuff being what you're meant to be doing, not cleaning up other people's poop that they so callously left on your front lawn. Okay. And here's the thing, they might not even have a front lawn to begin with, right? Nor a hairline, okay? Nor a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people come in here and they want to criticize you and everything. It's like, have you taken a peek into their life? Because their yard's a whole mess, okay? In fact, it's like there's about like 10 poo piles right on the front lawn and they don't care. They'll let it sit there. Some people like dumpy stuff. But I don't think that's what the collective is after. I think you're after something pure. I think you're after something of a higher level. You're just not wanting to mix with these kinds of energies, okay, that I'm kind of getting in here. So if you are struggling, again, definitely, surrender to the divine. If you're a Christian, you may be familiar with the Jesus take the wheel, okay? That doesn't mean then that you sit back and do nothing. You're still going to go to the grocery store. You're still going to go to work, right? People shitting on your lawn, what trailer park you live in, right? Exactly. And that's kind of their mentality. You know what? I know people who live in trailer parks and even they wouldn't do some stupid shit like that, right? Like some people, it doesn't matter what clothes you put on them, their attitude is trash, right? They have a trash attitude because they're trash people. And unfortunately we have to learn that, and part of it is then being grateful for the lessons as well, right? Yeah, free fertilizer, somebody said. But, I don't think they're going to try that when you're sitting out there watching them do it. That's, again, they're all very cowardly in their actions as well. And in today's world, we have, this thing called the internet and usernames where people can hide behind accounts and say all sorts of things, which is kind of the equivalent of somebody dumping their proverbial poop on your front doorstep, right? Three of Wands. Yeah, I feel like, again, you are just moving away from this kind of activity. You may be unreachable at a certain point. For some of you, you may have considered going on like a retreat. I mean, it is summertime. So for those of you where your kids are not in school or something, even if this is like a religious thing, like through your church, like a weekend or something, I feel like for some of you that might be helpful. Some kind of meditative retreat. Even if, like they have those things called like a no talking retreat. Like, have you ever just tried not talking like through the whole day? Like you could even try that at home and just see how it affects you. You don't even have to pay anybody to try that, right? And again, we're here on YouTube University, you can learn just about how to do anything. So you could be like, hey, that's great, reader over here reading your tarot cards, but I don't have the money to go on some retreat. That costs money to go with my church on this ski trip or whatever it is. You don't have to do those things. This is when you start, again, surrendering to what your needs are, okay? You could say, yeah, I'm hungry right now, but I don't have a dime in my pocket. That doesn't mean you're not hungry. But when you admit that, right? And, not only that, the universe sees that you're like, yes, I am a human being. Yes, I need nourishment, right? That's when the universe is going to come through and bless you with everything that you've been needing, right? Somebody said I should try not saying bad words in my gaming chat. I try not to cuss too much on YouTube just because you can get demonetized. But sometimes it flies out, doesn't it? Again, that's part of the human experience. And you could be around people This was kind of coming through too earlier, so am glad that I'm reading the chat today. I don't always have the capability to do that while I'm getting the messages. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. I feel like for some of you, it's like people might have seen you in a certain manner, okay, but that doesn't mean that you're not grounded. That doesn't mean you don't have needs. That doesn't mean you can't take care of business, right? Just because you threw out an F bomb the other day. Get over yourself. I mean, our former president was convicted of 34 felonies for sleeping with a porn star and paying her hush money. Can we stop clutching our pearls already as a society about what you're doing and what they're doing and everything else? Who's the enemy? Is it the person who's telling you to get your shit together? Or is it the person who's shitting on your lawn? People are so confused by these narcissists, these wolves in sheep's clothing. I reposted a video that was from another reader today because I have been heavily getting the message of a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that was the title of her video. So if you go to my community tab, you can see that. It may speak to your situation a bit if you're resonating with some of this energy. Hopefully my dog doesn't go crazy. The garbage guys are right in front of the house right now. Maybe she must be in another part of the house, not like listening. She can't see them. Otherwise, she would be barfing her head off. Yeah. Yeah, a bit too much. And you're like, look, I already have all these other things to take care of. I cannot shovel your crap too. I'm just not going to do it. You know, and you're like, I'm grateful for the challenges that I have. You know, I don't want to take away your challenges and your learning experience from you by doing it for you. It's kind of like that helicopter parenting thing. We all see how that works out. I mean, we hear about, you know, grown adults bringing their parents with them on the job interview. Okay. Anyway. Justice. Ooh. So for some of you that may have been going through some stressful situations, this is also Libra. I've had a lot of Libra come through lately. I specifically labeled one of my readings Libra. Again, I posted that on the community tab. If you're looking for any readings, you can find them under the videos tab or the live tab, but I do try and repost what I am posting that day to the community tab, so you see the latest and greatest, okay? Your ships are coming in is what I'm hearing, and it's like, yeah, your responsibility level, you separating yourself from these dramas, your responsibility level is being rewarded, and it's like, yeah, who can we entrust with the right and wrong? Who can we entrust to carry us forward, right? Okay. And I think it's more of the things that the collective has going on. It's like the universe is saying, I want to know now. What are you, now that you've had this time, now that you've regrouped, now that you've become so strong, I want to see what you can do. And that's part of your justice out to everybody else. That they're going to see you shining literally like the Queen of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. That's in the outcome. That they're gonna like, yeah, see you almost like as some kind of celebrity. You know what I mean? It's gonna be that kind of glow. For some of you, yeah, I feel like again, you've been waiting for this justice for a while. You know, and maybe it is like some weird dispute like you've been having with a neighbor or something, and it's like it's finally coming to a resolution. Like they're finally off your frickin' back, right? And I mean, it's like you're supposed to be my neighbor. You're supposed to be looking out for me, not making my life harder. Love thy neighbor. Again, so many things that so many people forget about. Yet we all learn, and you don't have to be Christian to have heard "love thy neighbor." Does love thy neighbor mean go steal their flags and desecrate their homes? And okay, right? Okay. These people that are doing the devil's bidding are going to get their comeuppance. And if they are intentionally stalking people, they will get it too. That way. What I heard is these karmics are going to be crying in the night, wishing they never crossed you, saying how sorry they are, but it's going to be literal cries in the night that you're not going to be able to hear because Spirit is going to be able to protect you from this. This is part of it. It's like those criminals that put the crying baby sound on the side of the road so the women will stop and then they kidnap and rape them. This is what these people have been doing to the collective in so many words. You know, the boy that cried wolf, help me, help me, help me. And every time you go to help them, what do? Did they even need help to begin with? Or did they just want attention? And meanwhile, what is the collective getting out of the situation? Except drained, right? You're not going to get that drained anymore. Again, it's like you're not going to be able to hear these people. It's you know, I know there's a ton of Spider-Man movies now, but like Superman used to be the, you know, like before and Batman too, but you know, Superman has the Fortress of Solitude. It's like that when he gets in there, it's like you can hear a pin drop. It's him and his thoughts and, you know, his ancestors, right? And getting back to his purpose, right? He goes there as a retreat. Like I was saying earlier, like some of you may need to go on some kind of retreat. It might be a religious retreat, a meditation retreat, a yoga retreat, you know, like I can feel the eyes on me more than ever. Not fun. Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, yeah. And if you are an empathic person, if you're a sensitive person, and honestly, you don't even need to be all that empathic or sensitive. You just need to have your eyes open, right? Right? You know what I mean? When you see so-and-so and so-and-so and you see them kind of, you know, canoodling a little extra with that person and you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but it's something, right? You know, and then they'll be like, oh no, we're just friends. We're just old friends. I don't know about you, but I don't sit on my friends' laps and grind on them, right? Hey, we're friends. No. Okay? That's the level of, see, it's like they say this stuff to themselves, right, to justify it. Justice, but you know the truth. You know the real karma of the situation. It's like they can't, yeah. And you can feel the eyes on you because they know they're trying to snow you and they're looking over like, are they buying it? What do you think? You know, it's like it's like a little kid seeing what they can get away with. And I don't know about you, but I heard the Queen of Wands has some mystic properties as well. So it might not just be all this like in front of your face stuff, but some of it may definitely be like, you know, the universe is going to give you the nods, okay? You know, it's literally, you know, they thought you were the mark, but you are not going to miss the mark because of how the karma is getting dealt out and how the universe wants you to see it. Please, you guys, I literally, you saw how much I shuffled these cards. This came out in my last one. So somebody here definitely has a mission to uplift humanity. Okay. Also check out the constellations. Pleiades is the Seven Sisters, which is more visible in the wintertime. But for some of you, this really may be some kind of partnership. I don't know if it's a romantic partnership necessarily, or it could be, you know, like maybe you're somebody who runs a retreat. Maybe you do that. You know, maybe you run like a kids camp or, you know, I mean, something like that. And it's like you're going to find the partners to do this. Okay. And it's going to help a lot of people. So you should be, you should be happy. Kindness for, yeah. They mistake that kindness for weakness, don't they? They mistake, you know, people not saying something for being complacent, right? It's like, no, you know, it's more like we're just picking our moment, right? 11:11 on the clock. You guys make a wish. I have to make this somewhat of a shorter reading today, so I'm hoping because I have an appointment here pretty soon. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Yeah. So part of this surrender is you saying, look, I know all these people want to live trashy. I know they all want to have this drama all the time. You know what I mean? Like, but you're like, you know what? I would rather just, you know, watch some of that drama on TV and not really be experiencing it in real life, right? You know, is there anything wrong with television? No. You know what I mean? Like, we're all using our devices. This is another thing, too, that was coming through message wise. It's like that fight. Like, and another thing, right? You know, there's a lot of people out there that'll be like, I don't do social media. I'm not on Facebook. I don't do it. It's like, yeah, but like, are they on Pinterest? Do they have a YouTube account? Do they go on YouTube? Like, you know, a lot of people say these things and make you think like you're like, oh, you know, you're participating in the madness. It's like, yeah, dude, I saw your Reddit account. It has like 40,000 posts. Like, so don't criticize me for expressing my opinion when you're out here doing the same thing, not even using your real name, bro. Right? Again, moving so far away from any of that, right? um yeah, and you're like, yeah, I do use social media, but you know, I curate it to my liking. You know, I follow the people I want to follow. You know, I look at the things I want to look at. Just like, you know, a program on TV, if you don't like it, change the channel, turn it off. Very easy. So I don't know how many folks are in the chat, but I do appreciate your likes. I do see that. I just can't see. It looks like maybe there's 4 people in the chat currently, but we have 5 likes, so that's nice. Somebody must have had to dip out. So again, this could be you dipping out in a way, surrendering to this separation, if you will, from this community, and focusing, you know, not necessarily having a monk like, you know what I mean? He has kind of like this monk like robe on, right? I'm not saying you have to become a monk here, but it really may be something very powerful for you. All right. And so if you're being called to that, I think it's something you should definitely at least investigate. You know, see if you can afford it. Sometimes these people have payment plans and all sorts of things. Awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Yeah. You know, the investment in yourself, right? It's like every dollar that you make, it's like, where is it going? Okay, it's going to your shelter, it's going to your food, it's going to your clothing, right? Is it going to your spiritual nourishment? And this isn't me asking for donations. I'm saying you go out and you find what works for you. Not everybody can sit there and meditate. It does not work for everybody. Okay? You might find a way to do it that's like a little bit different than somebody else. Okay, and call it meditation, fine. Right? That doesn't stop the awakening from happening, does it? Right? You're like, I have all these things going on inside me. What is it? What is it? What is it? Well, the universe is asking you to surrender and to listen. Okay? And you may start getting those downloads. A retreat, I'm just saying, is a way to make sure that, you know, you get away from the distractions. You know, there's no cell phones. There's no kids' meals to make. There's no game on the television. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's you and your essence here. Okay? Communing communing with nature and letting you expand and explore and evolve into the being that you are meant to be. A new way of being. Yeah. So some of you may, this is very interesting. You see how these figures are floating? Some of you may have felt somewhat disconnected from your body a little bit. Part of that is if you are distracted by karmics and whatnot. But another thing to do with that is grounding. Okay, so that is your meditation. That is your getting out in nature. And when I say getting out in nature, that could be as simple as if you have grass in front of your house, going out there with your bare feet and sticking your feet in that grass, right? And feeling it. Okay. And it's like, yes, I am connected to my body, but I am still experiencing something. Am I not? Right? And that's okay. All right. It can be scary at times. Okay. And that's another thing that these karmics want you to get confused about. They want you to say like, oh, well, you're doing it this way and not that way, and this is the way it's always been done over here, and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't want to end up where you're at. Right? That's what you have to tell these people. It's like, I'm glad that you have your goals and you've achieved yours, but mine aren't the same as yours. So we're moving on. Right? Some people, their spiritual journeys stopped a long time ago. And, it's an individual thing. Obviously our governments try and force a lot upon us, but, we were a nation in America anyway, where I'm at. We were a nation founded on religious freedom. And that's also the freedom to be who you want to be, right? We're not defined by a caste system. Yeah, maybe you did grow up in the trailer park, but maybe now you're the CFO of your own company, right? Ain't no stopping us now, right? Please. This is part of the message that I think the universe is wanting you to understand. This surrender, it's going to fill you in a way that no other earthly being can do. Okay? That's why they say, like, put your faith in God and Christ, not in man, right? Because, man will, or woman, right, will disappoint you every time, right? Grounding and earthing is such an underrated practice. Yes, there are even some YouTube movies. There is a specific movie about grounding that talks about the scientific and health benefits on YouTube. I believe it's free for anyone that wants to check that out. They also sell these things like grounding mats and stuff, grounding shoes. It's it can be very powerful. Okay. So somebody out there wants to know if you're dating anybody. So they're like, you're out here trying to uplift humanity. Somebody says, I want to be a part of that. Maybe that's part of this awakening too, is you're going to start running into, say, your soul family, your tribe of people that are like I said, wanting to work with you to make this happen. You're not just alone here, right? Even though you might be in your fortress of solitude at the moment. I wish I could come out and say it. I pulled this card the other day, and when I wrote this message, this was about somebody, just wanting to speak something, it's kind of like they're tongue-tied or whatever. It's also kind of funny to me that this came out and it happens to be Pride Month as well. So if anybody out there is just needing to come out, right, and say it, this may be your month, right? So good luck to you, okay? I've never had to have that kind of experience, so, but if you are having that experience, I hope you are supported in it, right? Okay. I gotta get ready pretty soon. I love you. So this person definitely has some love for you. You know, for some people, this could be like a same sex thing, and like they haven't like told you that they like you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And now they're saying, "Hey, I love you. I love what you're about." One more, please. I think we're gonna close it out here. Just about at 30 minutes. Thank you again for the likes on the video. Please do subscribe if you wish to hear more messages, and hit that notification bell if you would like a push notification to your phone or email. I'm tired of dating. Yeah. So whoever this person is, feels like you're going to be their kind of end of the road. Okay. Like they want to settle down. Yeah, they want to hang out with you more. And you know, part of that is you're looking really good. So, you know, after you have some of this time, like you could be kind of in this kind of surrender mode now, currently. Even kind of retreating from, you know, the busyness. Like maybe for some of you, especially if you do have kids or like the end of the school year or whatever, like all that scheduling, you're like, okay, I'm retreating from that madness just for a little bit, right? And part of that is going to help you with this glow up, okay? Because you've already taken care of the business, right? And the universe is like, oh, they got their stuff, they got it going on. So it's like, okay. So it's like, and yeah, people think like, oh, I'm going through an awakening, I must be a mess. No, actually you look pretty good. Because it's like you're just more and more sure of yourself, the more woke, right? The more woke that sinks in. And if you're not trying to be your best self, then what are we doing? Right? Okay. So, yeah, this person could be coming towards you. If this message is resonating with you, you might want to check out the message I posted yesterday, where there was a lot coming forward. But I feel like this is more focused on you today, whereas that message was more focused on them. And yeah, they might have some things to say. But yeah, I just feel like the focus, you're maintaining the right focus and level. All right. And I think that's coming from some of this grounding as well. You're not getting swept away. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there so I can finish getting ready for my appointment, you guys, and wish me luck with no cavities, right? Thank you for joining in the chat. Thank you for those of you in the chat that are participating nicely. Right? The chat today was very good. I've had some chats recently that, you know, it's more like spammers. So I appreciate you. And until next time, please manifest wisely. Bye bye.